We should be live. We should be live. What is up, everybody? How's everyone doing? Happy Wednesday. Alright, let's take a look at chat. How can I hold all these jars? Man, I'm about to drop some tikka masala all over and break it all over my computer desk. Alright. Keeping the streak up of Jason's ridiculous demands. Let me put these jars down and I'll show you what these jars are. So, day one of asking Danny to start. Jason has never gone past day one. It's only been day one. So, what do we have here? We got Tostitos Chunky Habanero Salsa. Chunky Habanero Salsa. Then we got Kroger brand tikka masala sauce. Add this with some chicken. You get some really good Indian curry right here. Tikka masala sauce. What else we got? We got Bon Maman. How do you even say this? This is 4 Fruits Reserves. I think this is from Costco. I don't know. It's 4 fruit jelly. It's got strawberries, cherries, red currants. What the heck is that? And raspberries. Those are the fruits: strawberries, cherries, red currants, and raspberries. Okay. What else we got here? Oh, I'm sorry. Mic is a bit hot. I meant to. Let me switch over. Where is it at? It was supposed to. Come on. Don't fail me now, wireless mic. We just used you once last week and you were pretty decent. But now you're not being detected. It's not being detected. I might have to go back to. Sorry, guys. The contractors literally just left my house. Not even like 4 minutes ago. So, let me fix this. Oh, here it is. All right, I think the wireless mic is working now. Sorry about that. All right, I think we should be good with the wireless mic. Okay, next up is the, we got some oily peanut butter right here. Costco's organic peanut butter, Kirkland Signature. This counts as a jar. When I was thinking jar, I was thinking like, oh, glass stuff, but I think plastic jars also count. This is a jar of peanut butter, right? There's no other way you would not call this a tub of peanut butter. And then we got, of course, sliced jalapeno peppers. So those are the 5 jars that I still kept up my commitment to Jason's ridiculous request. What is up, everybody? Let me take a look. Who was first today? We had Kevin go first. Then we got Craig Lilly. What's up? We have Scooter. I put out the stream notification like an hour ago, so I don't know if everybody's still here, but I usually like to say hi to everybody anyways. H3456. What's up? What's up? We got Brian Switzer, aka Nitro. What's up? Oh, you can turn the heater down. We were just testing it. I'll call him after. Let's see. We have what's up, Cam Hansen? What's up, KL130? Chemical Aid, Marcus Arroyo, Riot Noob, Demon Man. What's up? What's up? Okay. Contractor, yeah. No, we got a new heat pump. We got a Mitsubishi Hyper heat pump. just because our furnace basically crapped out and died. Since we moved into our house in 2018, we have had furnace/AC problems, and I have been limping them along for the last 5 years. The first winter we moved into our house, the furnace already had like some issues, which I was able to, watch YouTube videos and fix. And I've been doing that over the years, and I've been able to keep the furnace and AC up and running. But the furnace, I just met my match with the latest problem it was having. It had a problem with the inducer, so I thought, okay, let me go buy an inducer for this 20-year-old furnace, which is very expensive because they don't really make them anymore, so you have to get used parts. But I got it in, replaced it. It ended up not being the actual problem, so I was like, you know what? This thing's old enough where if we replaced it, it'll be like a fresh slate and it'll make life a lot easier. So yeah, we got a heat pump, which kind of replaces both the condenser unit and the indoor furnace. So it's one all electric heat pump. It's the Mitsubishi one, so it should work to low temperatures for the heat. So I'm excited to see how well it heats the house this coming winter, and then when we need it for cooling in the summer. So yeah. Yeah, the joy of home ownership indeed. It was expensive, but thank God I am a dual income. I'm in a happy marriage where we are dual income. So it's nice to have a significant other where you can split the bills with, essentially. So I couldn't imagine being a single homeowner covering all the mortgage, all the bills, and all like anything maintenance. Just being dual income is so helpful. Dual income and no kids. Yeah, the no kids thing, Pinky Tech. No kids definitely helps. But once you have kids, I think being dual income, if you can keep the dual income and not go down to like one parent staying at home, then I think that's gonna be super nice too. How much did the heat pump cost? So out the door, it was $16,000 for installation, and so it was labor and the heat pump itself. But it was because we were able to get a deal through someone we knew, basically. Yeah, 16,000. Yeah. Hey, what's up, John? John, the 7800 XT is actually sitting back there in that PC. I've already built the system. The video is coming out this weekend. Yeah, 16,000. I mean, I don't know. If you try to look across like the average cost of like installing a new furnace or AC or heat pump in like the US, the numbers fluctuate so much. But if you look in areas like Seattle, Los Angeles, Bay Area, stuff like that, where general cost of living is higher, the cost of big projects like that is a lot more expensive. Definitely compared to the rest of the quotes I got from friend of a family member or friend of a friend, the quotes were for a heat pump system, all electric heat pump with no coils. That easily was running above 20K. So we definitely got the homie hookup on that one, thankfully. Okay, so where's my... Good news is both Melissa and I have been testing, or we've tested negative for COVID. So I think I just have a little bit of congestion left and a little bit of a cough, but tested negative and no fever and stuff like that. So feeling good about that. Home rental on a budget channel when? Actually, we were just talking. So John, I actually just met up with John this past weekend, John the net guy. We might do a video of getting running wires or Ethernet down to the basement. He still needs to come over so we could assess the whole situation, but I think that'd be a pretty fun video. And then I could probably record that whole thing if we end up doing that. I think it'd be pretty cool. John is a very hands-on, very like home improvement DIY type of person. So I have a lot of faith in him whenever we decide to do that. So make John go in all the small spaces. The smallest space he would have to go in is probably the attic space. So yeah. What's up, Fab Gamer T? I'm doing good. We now have heat. We've been using space heaters. I mean, I use this space heater anyways because the basement is hard to keep warm, even with our central, ducting and everything. But we've been using only space heaters because our furnace has been out for I think it's like been 3 or 4 weeks now. So I'm glad that we were able to finally get everything done today. They were working on it for about 3 days, ripping out the old furnace and the old AC and everything, and putting in the single, the air handler, and then the outdoor heat pump. You got your smell back? I do have my smell and taste back. Yes, I do. Just wear a jacket, says Jason. Y'all notice I've been wearing hoodies more often. This is gonna be the streams throughout winter, wearing whatever hoodies. I have 3 hoodies I rotate between for the most part, or 4. 2 of the ones with the robot design on it, 1 from Hynix, and then the other one from the Nerd on a Budget black one. So yeah, I'll always be wearing hoodies and sweatpants going into the winter. Yeah, so the videos, COVID kind of threw a curveball, but also I have a lot of videos that I have planned and have partially complete. I just need to finish them. But there should be a video this weekend. It's going to have to do with that build sitting behind me right there. It's been a while since I did a not really budget build, but something like in the $1,000-ish range. So that's what that's going to be. I'm halfway through benchmarking it right now, and then after that, I just got to film and then edit, and then that should be a video this weekend. But I've been trying to keep consistent with the YouTube Shorts, releasing about like 2 or 3 every single week. So hopefully that helps fill the void a little bit. Cool Mug 33 says, what's my opinion on the AMD RX 570? I like the 570. I like it a lot, actually. Okay. Every time I go to eBay to do price checks, I try to guess, just because, I mean, I haven't looked at RX 570 prices actively for a few weeks now. So, but if I had to guess on eBay, RX 570, what do I think these things are going for? $45? Buy it now? Hopefully they're not more expensive than that, because, I mean, they're getting kind of old, even though I think they're still very 49, 40 with 10 shipping. We're looking at 40 plus. Okay, so around $50. Oh, wait, did I sort by lowest price? I did. Yeah, so RX 570. Wow, you can get an 8 gigabyte one. Who's the seller on this? Electronic buy sell. Okay, reputable seller. XFX 8 gigabyte. Yeah, so that means in your local area, you should be able to get them for around 40 to 45, hopefully. A little bit less than this, which I think is like a really good price for a still 1080p capable card. I mean, there's nothing in the new market on the low end that could really compete with this at the price range, because you don't have anything like sub $100, right? In terms of graphics card pricing, like once you get, I mean, there's nothing even really. What's the lowest price card that you can get brand new right now? It's probably in the 150 range, for like an older 1650 Super or something like that, right? So yeah, in terms of the performance that this comes compared to that at this price, it's crazy steal. Jason says 570 is fine, but 580 is so cheap. Yeah, so also, I was just speaking only to the 570. If we change this to 580, what are we going to see? I should have guessed the price. I'm going to guess like $60, but we'll see. So it's 45. This is the 8 gigabyte. Wow. this is an 8 GB model too. So we're not talking about like, 4 GB lower end models here. This is the MSI gaming one, which is, I always like these coolers. But this is from Washington too, Chelan. So this one is 55. So like 60 something after tax, 61 bucks. That is a good price for a very capable card. Again, let's take a look at Newegg. What is it gonna be? 1560 Super. What is a new card that's like the closest competitor to something like this? Yeah, so you're looking at refurbished ones for 170. Let me see what Amazon have. I don't think they have much. GTX 1650. We'll just put 1650 and see what they have. You can get a 1650 non-super for 130, which is definitely not as good of a value proposition. So yeah, it's awesome to see these continue to flood the market. But honestly, you wouldn't really be going for a card like this unless you were building like a 3, maybe 4, even in a $400 system. I think you could fit up to a $100 graphics card. So really, you're not really going to be using one of these unless you're building a pretty ultra budget system, like $300-ish range. Is the 2060 still like $250? I don't think so. I think those have dropped in price. Okay, now we're going to make a guess on the 2060. What were they going for around? They were like in the 200-ish range. I would think the 2060 would be going for 2060 non-super 170 if I had to throw out a random guess. Let's see, lowest price, buy it now. Shrouded. Hey, I mean, this is kind of goofy, but if it works, it works. The only issue with it, though, actually, so it's got the whole heatsink on there. This thing, 110 actually doesn't seem like that bad of a price for a 2060. Yeah, this actually doesn't seem that bad at all. But let's see, 2060. Oh, it's actually cheaper than I thought. They're going for 140, 143-ish, 145. Yeah, these are like not sketchy versions of the cards. They're not like OEM versions or like mobile versions or anything like that. So 145-ish, not bad. Yeah, you got the Zotac versions, Gigabyte. But I mean, I still think, because the 5700 XT is cheaper than this, but is better raster-wise. So I think AMD still kind of, even in the used market down this range, is still better value. Yeah, Jason, exactly. I'd rather 1080 Ti or 5700 XT. I'd rather 5700 XT as well. Is the 1080 Ti this cheap now? We're starting to get to the point where there's so many like still relevant old graphics cards, like multiple generations worth of them, that you have such a big selection if you're going used. So we're going 1080 Ti's, yeah, 11 gigabyte VRAM for 145 about. This cooler is a little ugly though. This one's also a pretty crappy cooler. Here we go, gigabyte. So 160 for an Aorus fan defect one, okay. So yeah, the cheaper ones, unfortunately, the Zotac's the only dual fan one. Then you got a bunch of these blower style coolers. But I mean, cooler aside, for 150 bucks, the 1080 Ti is still a beast of a card. Ask Danny how he knows exactly from our competition. Okay, so someone was asking, so Don Jeff, is the ARC A770 a viable option for playing S2 and Civ 6? What is S2? It's not StarCraft 2, right? What is S2? Am I out of the loop? Oh my, please let me guess this before people... Oh, CS2, okay. Yeah, okay, so with regards to CS2, if you haven't tried yet, Counter-Strike 2, even though it's like on a new engine and stuff like that, it is super easy to run. I was going to add it to the benchmarks of this video, but I couldn't get a replica. They don't have replays out yet for like the pro leagues and stuff, and you can't get replays of practice matches. And I wasn't trying to play a ranked match just so I can get a replay so I could do repeat benchmarks. But I was maxing out, like, I think the FPS cap was like 300 FPS or something. But I was maxing it out easily at max settings. Now, that's with a more modern graphics card, but something like an A770 will be able to handle Counter-Strike 2. It's so weird not to say CSGO anymore. You have to say Counter-Strike 2. But in terms of Civ 6, I'm actually not sure how difficult it is to run. Let me look at the thing before we get into the main topic of today's stream. Civ 6. Okay, let's see. Civ 6. I'm just going to look at the main system requirements. I don't know if there's a ton of people running benchmarks for Civ 6. Okay. Where do they put that from? 2K support. I always usually look. I'm going to look at Steam. Okay, what are we looking at for system requirements? We've got, oh man, straight up i3s or Phenom 2s, 4th gen i5s, so CPU wise, not an issue. Yeah, and they're only asking for straight up like R9 7970s or 700 series NVIDIA. So this is Civ 6, right? Yeah, so A770 is a very capable modern day. It's more of like a mid-ish range card. So it'll be fine. What are you even saying, Jason? Danny got that Gyat on the Rizzler. He skibbity the Phantom Tax. What is that even? Yeah, so this is a good point by Pinky Tech. AMD has been, man, I feel like I get the little newsletter from Intel like almost every week or every other week with regards to them releasing new driver updates and game optimization. In like the overall performance of the ARC cards are good. I remember like when I was testing Far Cry 6, I was getting like a bunch of artifacting and like friggin' rainbow spectrum glow effects. So there are random games that you could run into issues with, but like by and large, for the most part, I didn't run into that. I think Far Cry was the only game, and I ran into problems with Far Cry, but most other people did not when I looked up their benchmarks. So I think at this point, my question is why do you want an ARC card over like an AMD card or NVIDIA card or a used card at that same price point? If you want to support Intel, then that's actually pretty awesome because not a lot of people actually care to do that. They just care about, you know, maximum price to performance. But actually supporting Intel, helping them gain some market share, you know, putting money back into their pocket so that they can continue their GPUs, I think that's very noble. I'm actually going to be going full-time with an Intel card soon here, so... but mine was a review unit, so, you know, that's a little different there. Yes, Jared, Party Animals. We wanted to play Party Animals, but for this last LAN that we had, but it didn't come out yet. Now it's, because it came out on September 20th. Our LAN was like September 15th, so we just missed it by a week. But definitely, Party Animals has been on our like list of games to check out. So I think it supports up to, there are some game modes or stages on here that supports like 10 or 12 people, I think. So yeah, we're definitely gonna check that out, and hopefully it'll be a future LAN game. Why? Okay, so we're gonna talk about, well, buying from eBay, but also selling. Are mobile D GPUs that sketchy? I've actually never used a mobile dedicated graphics card. We saw them all the time on eBay when we were looking. Which was it? Was it the 3060M GPU? So I can't really speak on them, unfortunately, because I don't have experience using them. Which card was it that we found? It was a 3070, right? There was. Do you guys remember when we were looking in like the previous streams? We were looking at graphics card pricing, and when we sorted by, was it the 2060M? It was 3060, right? So that's kind of weird. Why is it not popping up now? Maybe if I just put 3060 GPU without the M. Let me see if I can find them again. Yeah, see, the cheapest one, unless it's just not the cheapest one anymore, but even scrolling through, I'm having trouble finding. Let me see, 30 series. I'm not even seeing it from the filter. So what the heck just happened to all those mobile GPUs that we were finding? Oh, was it 6600M? Let's see if we can find it on the AMD side of cards. Of course, they're gonna send us all these fans. Here's here we go. So here's like a mobile version of it. How much is this going for? See price in cart from Soil official store. What is this thing going for? No thanks, no protection. See price in cart. Just show me the price. $180. So 180, what is the normal 6600? The JC. What do we got here? Is that the... Thank you for the join on the Nerd Type Budget channel membership. I appreciate the support. You could get refurbished like Sapphire Pulse cards for 170. The next cheapest one is a Yeston or an ASRock one for about 210. So to get the mobile version, you're saving about 30 bucks. I don't know what the performance of this one is. I would have to look it up specifically. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think if I've ever used any mobile cards, even for the past generation, over the years. And I don't think I've ever used a mobile like card in a dedicated desktop machine, if that makes sense. Jason, all right, you got it. I need to get it, and then maybe we could play sometime. Yeah, where's the thing? I also love Gang Beasts, and but Gang Beasts, they kind of quit support on it, so it's kind of like been in limbo for I don't know how many years now. So if it supports more players and has kind of just better overall like menus and matchmaking and stuff like that, then I'm all for it. If it's a similar to Gang Beasts game, yeah. Guys, please stop buying your computer parts on AliExpress. It only exists for YouTubers to make content for it. That's actually a good thing. I'm also in the process of working out something with to make a Temu PC build, so that's gonna be a fun video. But Rain says, wait, I can't tell if this is a real comment or not. Rain says, I bought a PS5 from AliExpress, but I got a PS3, big L. I can't tell if that's sarcasm or just joking around, or if that's like for real. Can you clarify, Rain? Because I'm very curious. It's not, okay. Okay, so let's jump into the main topic for today's video. And how I came up with this was, so I recently rooted my phone just so I could unlock it essentially to do bad things. But anyway, so I rebooted my phone and I had to reset because of it. And because I did that, all my like settings got reset essentially. And I'm now getting notifications from apps that I normally turn notifications off on. And one of them is Reddit actually. So I've been getting random notifications of random like different things that people have been posting on Reddit, particularly the ones that I'm subscribed to, like PC Master Race, Linus Tech Tips and stuff. And that's where I came across what the main title and thumbnail of this video, and it's something that we've talked about on stream before, as well as I've talked about in videos. Rooting technically is unsafe, but depending on what you do after you root and what apps you install and things like that. But if you're safe about it, I think you should be fine. Plenty of people root or jailbreak their phones without any issues. So yeah, it's up to you what you do after the fact. But back to the topic at hand, this one actually caught my attention, and it's something that I've always been super paranoid about, and it's one of the main reasons I don't sell on eBay. So I'm going to read this post from this Redditor, and then we'll talk about it. So they sold a Liquid Devil on eBay. Buyer claimed it broke because of the heat in transit. Need opinions. So this Redditor posted this, and they posted pictures. We'll take a look at the pictures in a second. But so the first picture is before shipping. The second is after. Buyers trying to claim the item was damaged in shipping, but from everything I know of acrylic is it does not break under heat and only becomes brittle at -60°F. So pretty cold. Plus the cracks seem consistent with over-torquing screws, which also have noticeable signs of damage on them. Some stains on the acrylic are missing as well, specifically towards the top of the reservoir or the res flow. The serial numbers are the same on the back, but my guess is he swapped the back plates. The box showed no signs of tampering either. Furthermore, I've never disassembled the card, usually flush cleaning with distilled water and a cleaning additive, and shipped it in the original packaging. So basically he's saying he takes care of his stuff. What are people's thoughts? Am I getting scammed here? So let's take a look at, how do you open this picture in a new tab? Because I want to actually zoom in on it a lot. Okay, here we go. So here's the picture of a new tab. I guess we got to zoom out a bit. So here's the card after the fact. I'm trying to get a good picture. I guess I have to do it on here. So here is the original. So if you're going to sell something and you're shipping it, whether it be on eBay, Facebook Marketplace, or OfferUp something, make sure you have pictures beforehand because of crap like this that can happen, right? But okay, so we look at the card here. It looks like it's fine. Can I open this one in a new tab as well? Here we go. Oh, the zoom. But here's the card before it was shipped off. So the main things to look out for that they were saying is, they're saying, the zoom is killing me on here. Huge difference, right? If you look at the acrylic here where these hex screws are, you can see that there's cracks almost on every single one of them, versus this one where it was all pristine. They didn't send a picture of the serial number for the Reddit post, but they're saying that it does show the same serial number in the before and after picture. But reading through the comments, a lot of people are saying, yeah, it looks like you're getting effed. Problem is now convincing eBay. They will almost certainly side with the buyer, as they always do. So selling on eBay, this is actually my biggest fear. I don't care about not making as much money, which is another reason why eBay kind of sucks, because of the fees that they take. But things like this. Now, I'm not going to pretend and lie and say that this is like super common, because actually I'm sure there's plenty of you right now who are watching this who've probably sold things on eBay without a problem, right? The only issue is that I don't know how much they've sold this for, but I mean, it's a used graphics card. It's definitely in the hundreds of dollars. I don't think, yeah, for a used, even if it is like a water blocked card, I don't think this would be, unless it's like, what is the Liquid Devil? They didn't specify which card is it, but could this be a 7900 XTX? Maybe, but I would think even after being used, that might bring it down under $1,000. Actually, I wonder if we can we find the eBay listing for this? Let me see. Bricked his own block, then switched. Seller is screwed. Yeah, so that's what a lot of people in the comments are thinking. And this is the old switcheroo. I've heard of people doing this on Amazon. Like, there's been people posted plenty of pictures where they buy something on Amazon that was either supposed to be new or supposed to be in good condition, and it comes and it's either not the item as listed or it's like broken. But with Amazon, it's different because they're screwing over Amazon, which I'm not saying is like more right or wrong, but I think it hits differently than when it's something like this, where it's like a consumer to consumer type of market where you're not screwing over a big corporation unless eBay decides to do the right thing and refund the seller, even if the buyer refuses to, you know, admit that they're either scamming or I don't know what freak accident could have happened that caused their acrylic like this to crack. But too bad the box doesn't have its own serial number. Yeah, like if they were to like engrave it into it or something, or laser etch it or something like that. Communication is key, since eBay can check that later during the investigation. I think the key thing here is if the seller has a long-standing reputation with eBay and a lot of rep. Like, let me take a look at my eBay account right now, because I don't even know what my standing on eBay is. But I would think, like, if I was a seller in this case and something like this happened to me, if I contacted eBay, let me look at my account. All right, so I have 313 reputation. That's not from sales. It's a combination of sales and buying, but it's mostly buying. I don't sell on eBay for obvious reasons. I don't like the fees. I don't like having to pay taxes on crap. I don't like the potential to get scammed. But I buy a lot on eBay. But let me do this stupid capture real quick. What am I supposed to do? Click each image containing something you can write with. Yeah, so I've been a member on eBay. Looking at my account right now, I don't want to show you guys because it might show my address or my username, but I've been a member since 2009. I've actually been an eBay member longer than 2009. It's just in 2009, my college roommate asked me to use my eBay account so that they could buy some Jordans, and they used their PayPal to pay, and they had a banned PayPal account. So eBay saw their PayPal account being used with my eBay account and banned my original eBay account. Otherwise, I think I started buying from eBay like in 2005 or something like that. A lot sooner or before 2009. But my account dates back to 2009, my second account, and I have 313 100% positive feedback. So I would think that if I was a seller and I had a long-standing, 14-year-old eBay account with 313 transactions with 100% feedback, if I was getting scammed, eBay would look at that and kind of realize like, hey, maybe I'm not trying to scam here, and either get the person to refund the money or just give me the money back because it's the right thing to do and take the loss. But yeah. Don Hefe says, I've done it to Best Buy, but never a private seller. Whoa, 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 whoa. What have you done to Best Buy? Are you saying you returned something, did a switcheroo, put something broken back in, and then screwed Best Buy over? Or are you talking about something else? What are we talking about here? Seeking, I think you meant to say selling on eBay is the worst. I'd rather risk getting shanked in a dark alley than deal with scammers on there. Yeah. Let me, actually, I want to, okay. I'm going to run a poll. I'm just curious how many people here sell on eBay. So, I mean, I'm not saying like, have you ever sold anything on eBay since the beginning of time? I'm saying like, have you sold something on eBay within the last few years? Because I would consider that like, okay, you do sell on eBay. But, I mean, I do understand the reasons for wanting to sell on eBay as opposed to something like OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace where you have to ship something out, because eBay is like the online like used marketplace, right? As much as their fees suck, the reason they have higher fees is because they are like they are the long-standing platform to sell on, and they can kind of command it, right? They have the most reach in terms of user base and things like that. So I do see why people do it. It could technically be less of a hassle too, because when you list something on eBay, there's more eyes on it. It could sell faster. But for me, I would rather go through the hassle of meeting up with people, having potential deals fall through, than going through the convenience of selling on eBay, just because I want to profit every single dollar that I can. John says he's got 413. How old is your account, John, by the way? I'm curious. 413. So you beat me by 100 transactions, and probably 70% of yours is buyer. But to even have 30% selling, that's quite a bit. I mean, to be honest, I think my eBay with my 313 transactions, I'm probably 90. I've sold like, I could count on one hand how many things I've sold on eBay. I do a lot of buying on eBay, so. Cervantes 1500 says, I'm watching over from Yakima. What's up? Hello over there in Yakima. Well, you should see the market over here. We have a pretty chill stream tonight. I'm going to look at some Reddit posts, just some stuff that caught my eye. But then we can do whatever. We could, people could submit stuff, which, by the way, link to the Discord is down in the description. There's a stream submissions channel if you want me to take a look at anything specifically, whether it be like an ad for a PC part you want to buy in your local market, maybe like a pre-built or whatever listing you want me to look at. I can do that later on in the stream. Or we could do some deal hunting in Yakima. That would be pretty fun. I'm very, very curious. What's up, Brian? How you doing? In Germany, we do not have fees for selling on eBay, says Dr. Ice Baker. What? In Germany, you do not have fees for selling on eBay. Is that a thing? Why do I not believe that? How can... You have to have fees. How can they run the platform otherwise? Let me see. Germany, no eBay fees. Whoa, 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 whoa. Maybe it's not cap. From March 1st, 2023, final value fee on eBay.de is 0 for customer to customer. Wait, CTC. What is CTC selling? That's not customer to customer sellers residing within the EEA. On eBay, the cost of selling internationally is going down. As private sellers, you can now benefit from 0. Huh. Yeah, this is... So, with regards to the 0 fee, does Germany have no seller fees? Selling items will be free for private sellers from What the? Then pay neither listing fee nor sales commission. Okay. Huh. Why are we doing this? Interesting. Well, if that was the case, I would be... If eBay had no fees, which their fees right now is what, like 13%? I would be more willing to sell there. We know that fees have been the biggest hurdle for private sellers selling on eBay. The change in fees not only mentions attractive opportunities for additional income. Okay, but why are they doing this? eBay is investing in the entire marketplace ecosystem. The figures show that anyone sells who also buys twice as much. And that also means higher sales opportunities for commercial dealers. Huh, interesting. I mean, I guess I don't know what eBay's like revenue is based off of. Do they make more? Wait. But if you have no fees, just so that you could drive more of like, you know, drive more sales and stuff like that. Even for commercial dealers. Oh, commercial dealers still have to pay a fee, duh. Okay. So just so long as they drive more money being spent on the platform as a whole, and then it'll be mostly the commercial or larger sellers, not private sellers, basically bringing in the revenue for them. Okay, that kind of makes sense. Michael Levolte says, the fees in the US are why I stopped selling on there. I mean, the fees is almost why I... Okay. Does eBay have a, like, history of everything you've ever sold? I want to see what I've sold. The only thing I remember selling on eBay were graphics cards during the mining. If this was like 2017 or 18, I had some RX 480s or 580s and like R9 380s on hand. And they were going for such a ridiculous price on eBay. Like people on eBay miners were paying so much more money than local miners were paying. So even after the fees, it made sense for me to sell on eBay. So that's the only thing I remember selling on eBay within the last decade. I want to see my activity to see if I could see all my sold things, but I don't know if they keep track of that. Seller, selling, sold. Let me see if I could, within the last, I'm going to set a custom date back to like freaking, oh man, I got to go all the way back. Oh no, they only go back like 2 years? Are you kidding me? eBay only lets you go back like 2 years worth of your sold listings. Dang, so I can't. Yeah, I haven't sold anything within the last 2 years. Pinky Tech says, I can deal with fees. Being scammed as a seller worries me. Losing 13% I can deal with. 100% on the other hand is just not something I'm willing to do. Yeah, that makes sense. And with eBay, as we've seen, prices on eBay are slightly higher than in your local market. And part of the reason is because of those fees. So if you could offset the item that you're planning to sell for $100 in, on Facebook Marketplace locally and just upcharge to like 120 bucks, then you come out, either equal or even a little bit in the positive, assuming the buyer doesn't mind paying for shipping and stuff like that. So yeah, with regards to this post though, if we look in the comments, some of the people think that this person actually, what they did is they did not understand that this was a liquid cooled card. And they think that what might have happened, and I think this kind of makes sense, is they think that the buyer plugged in the graphics card and tried to use it without like a loop, like a liquid loop, a hard line or soft line or whatever. They just plugged it in as is, which would have caused the die and just the overall card to heat up, right? Because it's not properly being cooled. And if that ended up heating up, the temperature difference between the card and the acrylic could have caused it to crack. Because I think that makes a little bit more sense. Like a user not realizing this is not a typical graphics card than someone over torquing every single. I mean, look, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there's cracks along all of them. I don't see someone just doing that on all 7, unless it was done on purpose, but I don't know. Does Facebook Marketplace have a buyer protection at all? They do. So we can actually take a look at that. Buyer protection. Okay, so I should preface this with every online marketplace, whether it be OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, Mercari, eBay, whatever, they all have buyer protections, but whether or not they actually live up to that buyer protection is another story. Because I've heard horror stories of people buying. But let's take a look at the purchase protection for Facebook Marketplace. Many purchases made on Facebook checkout are covered by purchase protection policies. Purchases made through third-party sites, local pickup, messenger transactions, or other means do not qualify. So the only thing that qualifies is if you buy using their platform. So that means you have to you pay sales tax, because Facebook Marketplace, if you check out using Facebook Marketplace, there's sales tax, and then potentially shipping fees. I don't know of anybody who meets up in person and says, hey, I want to do a transaction and pay taxes on this. But the purchase protection is free, automatically covers you if you didn't receive the order, if it arrived damaged, if the seller didn't follow their stated refund policy, if the purchase was unauthorized, which is kind of interesting. I'm not sure how you can kind of prove that if you get someone like hacks your Facebook account or something, and I don't know. The seller has been removed from Facebook, which is kind of interesting too. Because you would think the scammers, I guess they would make a new account every time they're trying to scam. In reviewing your claim, Facebook may review the order details, all that stuff. So yeah, this covers pretty much most of the reasons why you would get scammed. Different than described is mostly these two. You didn't get your order, or it came damaged or not as described in the listing. You just have to file a claim and everything though. How do refunds work? Let me see. If the seller approves, if the seller approves, why does the seller have to approve your request for? Okay, so if you do a request for a refund, yeah, you get it the same day. Yeah, but I'm talking about what if the seller does not respond to your request, you reach out to Facebook, file a claim, give 48 hours for the team to do the claim. It may take up to 10 business days. So with Facebook, I would imagine it is similar to eBay, where if you have a long-standing Facebook account that actually shows activity like you're a real human being, and you're going up against someone who just made an account in 2023, has like no pictures, just has nothing. Maybe, actually marketplace accounts you can make a separate marketplace account that's not a Facebook profile. But I'm just saying as a buyer, if you have a Facebook profile, I would think that that would help for Facebook to side with you in the events of you filing a claim. But I don't, okay, eBay question over. Do you sell on eBay, at least within the last few years? About 2/3 of the people say they do not, 1/3 say they do. So I'm gonna end poll. Okay, now I'm gonna ask the next poll question because I'm actually very curious about this. I'm gonna start a poll. Do you use Facebook Marketplace / OfferUp? I'm not gonna do Mercari because I don't think Mercari has like a local. Does Mercari have like a local meetup thing? I think they're just online, right? I don't use much Mercari, but online buying and selling, not local, not counting local. Okay, so for me, this next poll question, I would be saying no, because I do not buy things on or sell things on Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp where I get things shipped to me, where I pay a transaction. Everything I do is local meetup with cash in hand, or I guess Venmo or Zelle or whatever. But I do not use them, like if we go to OfferUp here. So if I wanted to buy something from Kansas, this PS5, do they ship? No. See if I can get shipping only. So we can see listings for shipping, right? What does OfferUp think I like? Apparently some like Apple MacBook laptop. If I want to buy this Apple Watch Series 3, I can buy now. I gotta log in to see the checkout screen. But yeah, I'm talking about, do you buy and sell using this feature where you don't, it's not like you message the person and then you coordinate a meetup time and meetup spot. We're talking about you just straight up buy it now from here. You pay the shipping cost, you pay the tax and everything. It looks like about 90% of the people who are voting says no so far. Craigslist or bust? Dude, do we need to do a Craigslist stream right now where we take a look at how garbage the Craigslist listing is in at least my area? Which, I don't know, man. Seattle's a pretty big city in terms of activity in local ads and listing. If you can't find stuff here, let's look at gaming PCs. I honestly have not gone to Craigslist to like seriously look for like buying and selling. It must be over like 2 to 3 years now. It's just fallen off so much compared to OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace for me. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Kevin Go says, I'm a Nigerian prince. Source, trust me, brah. Pinky Tech says, I would rather drink toilet water from Taco Bell than to use OfferUp again. I deleted my account. Facebook Marketplace is turning into OfferUp. Just horrible offers or people not responding, etc. So, as much as I still use OfferUp, the OfferUp experience has been getting pretty bad as of recent, like in the last few months. I've been, even in my chair buying video, like OfferUp is trying to like feed you ads pretty frequently now if you don't have like a premium subscription or premium membership or whatever. Like when you're messaging people or looking through ads, every once in a while, they throw in like, ads that you have to X out of. But not only that, I've reached out to a lot of people on OfferUp who according to OfferUp, says they respond like 80% of the time. They usually respond within an hour and stuff like that. We're talking about active sellers with lots of items listed, with like OfferUp claims that they are very active, and I've received like 0 response. And I checked the day after, the week after, their listing is still up, so it's not like they sold it, I don't think. But it's just like, I have a feeling that like if you don't have OfferUp Premium, some of the messages just aren't getting through. And if you Google this, if you look up OfferUp messages not going through, there are a lot of people reporting this problem. So yeah, I agree with you that I think OfferUp is kind of going down the crap hole. I'm still using it because, I mean, aside from that in Facebook Marketplace, like what else is there to use, right? We could go back to Craigslist. Joseph says Facebook Marketplace is good to sell on. The only thing about Facebook Marketplace for me specifically, being a content creator, unless I make like a new like marketplace profile, is that it has my name attached to it. And when I buy and sell, especially if I'm doing it for like a video and stuff like that, I try to not make it known that I am me, because I know there's deal hunters in Washington State that watch the channel, and if they see it, they would recognize me. And yeah, I just don't want people to be able to snipe either my buy, or not snipe, but be able to recognize me and try to buy or sell for me solely because I'm a content creator that they recognize. Facebook is a lot more risky than eBay in my opinion. I would say Facebook is more risky if you were to buy and sell with shipping involved. But for I think meeting up, physically handing over the item or getting the item for cash, it's unsafe because you could get robbed, I guess. But assuming you don't get robbed because you meet in a very public place that's well lit and not in like a back alley of a sketchy part of town, in terms of like getting ripped off and stuff, I don't think anything beats the face-to-face transactions. Victicat says, so is it even worth trying to use buyer protection on Facebook, including the taxes, or do I just pay in cash or something because it's gonna be local? I don't understand this question, but in terms of is it worth trying to use buyer protection, I don't think so. I think, like we just said, local is the way to go. If you can't get something local, I mean, I know people who have successfully bought from Facebook. I just think it's definitely use payment methods like credit cards that have like buyer protection or fraud protection if you can. And then you just got to be willing to deal with customer service. I think at the end of the day, if you get scammed on any of these platforms, even if it is like Facebook or OfferUp, which doesn't have like the best reputation, like compared, I guess eBay has a questionable reputation at some points too. But if you're willing to deal with multiple customer service reps and complain to the end of the earth, then I think you will eventually get your money back if you go kicking and screaming. So yeah, there's that. Demon Mint says, I've never used Facebook to handle the payments or shipping, but I've sold a lot of stuff on Facebook using PayPal to handle the payments and shipping, not counting local sales. Wait, but I've sold a lot of stuff on Facebook. So you sell it on wait. I think I understand what you're doing, Demon Mint. So you're saying you sell a lot of stuff on Facebook using PayPal to handle payments and shipping. So do you put a local listing up and then people message you to buy it, and then through the messages you say, let's go through PayPal and I'll create an invoice? Because PayPal invoice is like how you get the buyer protection and stuff like that, right? I'm just curious, how do you, for doing this, because I know on eBay, if you try to take the transaction off of eBay, you could get your account banned. If eBay sees in the messages you say, hey, you found my listing and you want to put a bid or buy on it, let's just do it off of eBay so we don't have to pay fees and stuff like that. If eBay catches you doing that, you could get banned. I'm curious if Facebook has anything in their marketplace that says the same thing too, where like, I guess because they have the local option, they can't really enforce that because they already have options to buy and sell with cash and stuff. So yeah, you have local listings, but you've had people message to buy it and ship to them if they're not local. Yeah, okay, that's what I figured. Either from your page or when you buy ads. You buy ads? Are you talking about like for full builds? For some reason, I was only thinking of like individual parts here, but you might be talking about like the full builds that you list. And interesting, you buy ads. It must work if you're buying ads. What, for 10 to 25 bucks? How many what do you call those? Not engagements, but like times is shown. Impressions. How many impressions do they what do they charge for like 1,000 impressions on Facebook? For 10 bucks, 10 to 25 gets you 10, so about $1 per 1,000 impressions. Interesting. That's actually, I'm so cheap, man. Like, I would never want to buy. Of course, ads work, right? I mean, ads work on me. I sell ads on my videos. Ads, they do work. I'm just so cheap that I would be like, no, I'm just gonna leave it listed, and people are gonna find it eventually. But Tech Nativo says, I bought 5 items from Facebook in the last 7 days to be delivered. Okay, so you used the platform, not local meetups. Also, I bought from a seller and paid him with PayPal invoice, not Facebook. Basically based on trust and risky, lol. Well, no, if you do PayPal based on invoice, it's not that risky. I would say I would trust PayPal invoice almost more than I trust OfferUp and Facebook shipping, because PayPal invoice, like I've used that plenty of times on like hardware swap, Reddit hardware swap, and I have had transactions where things got shipped and were damaged and things like that, and it was resolved. So yeah, that's I would just imagine though, if it's this buyer that's approaching you and offering to use PayPal, I guess that's not sketchy. But if I was one of the number one scams that people do on Facebook and OfferUp is they have a listing when you try to buy it from them, and they point you to PayPal or Zelle or whatever. It's kind of weird because with PayPal you have protections, so they must be doing some weird gymnastics to try to get the money out before it gets delivered so that they can scam you. But in general, when you hear people saying, oh, pay me using a different payment method than the platform that we met on, that generally sounds like a scam, but in this case it's not, because you're using PayPal invoices. Hey, what's up, Zach? How's it going? We're just talking about scams and stuff, and which, by the way, I know, Zach, you use Mercari a lot, but would you say you use Mercari more than OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace? Just based on what I've seen from your content, I have a feeling you use Mercari the most, and in your streams when you talk about it too. But I'm curious, what about Mercari do you like more than some of the other platforms? DemonMit quite often gets messages on like a $400 gaming PC, and they ask if said PC can play some brand new game really well. I end up selling them a custom order build, and that's through PayPal. Okay, so they might not buy the exact thing that you have listed, but through your discussion, you're able to like do a custom build for them. And at that point, yeah, why make another Facebook listing or whatever to sell it direct? Mercari is full of scams, bro. I know in terms of content creators, I think Zach stands out the most in my mind of like I don't know if I would call her a power Mercari user, but a Mercari user for sure. I don't really hear much of Mercari from the other content creator friends as much as I know it sticks in my mind that Zach does. From my last 6 months, eBay, then Java, okay, then Mercari, okay. So eBay and Java over Mercari, okay, gotcha. Most sellers on Mercari have 0 reviews. I mean, in terms of like from a content creator standpoint, I would use Mercari if I was like making a video specifically trying to cover them, you know, trying to cover and show the typical user experience. But it's definitely not the first thing that sticks out in my mind in places to go. Internet, period, is full of scams though. That is true. All right, so we're gonna do a quick Craigslist. I've sniped so many deals through Mercari. Yeah, I remember on some of your some like your budget builds and stuff. I'm like, seriously, Mercari had that price, as opposed to like OfferUp and stuff like that. What surprises me is because the deals through Mercari are shipped. Some of the good deals that you've gotten, I'm like, dang, I would have expected that had to be a local deal to be priced that low. The more casual, non-PC building people sell on Mercari, so they don't know how to properly price things. Ah, okay. So that makes sense. Yeah, I do need to Genius Inside. That is on the list of things to do. I need to redo another online obvious scam listings where I actually try to call or reach out to them and message them and mess with them. That is on the list of things to do. No, Mercari has a no questions asked 3-day return policy. You can easily return absolutely anything within... Dude, okay. So that's kind of crazy that now Zach mentions this. Let me pull it up. Not that I don't believe you, Zach. I just want to look at the actual 3-day return, no questions asked. I just want to pull it up and read the returns for buyers. How returns work. Let's go to the actual website and not the Google result. Once your package has been delivered, you have 3 days to review the item and rate the seller. If the item isn't in the same condition as described listing, you request a return. If you're considering returning the item, please don't rate the transaction. Once the rating is submitted, the seller gets paid, and you can no longer return it. Okay, I'm trying to find the thing. Something's happened. Okay, what if you just want to return not because it's not as described? I'm trying to find where in the fine print. Once the return has been approved, okay. Because to me that's kind of crazy. You can return anything with it. Why would I want to sell on Mercari then if people could, because they changed their mind essentially? The 3-day period is kind of nice because it gives them a short window. Though I think 3 days could actually be kind of bad for the buyer at the end of things. Because I've had situations where either my package was not, it said it was delivered, but it actually doesn't get delivered for the next couple of days, or it actually got shipped to a neighbor who didn't get it to me right away, or a number of reasons, or it gets shipped to my P.O. box, my private mailbox, for you know, the channel, so it's not shipped to my house, and they didn't give me the notification that I got mail, so I didn't know to go pick it up. So there are reasons where I think and I know Java has this window too, but I think for the holidays they're gonna work on something to potentially extend that window. But yeah, just having such a short window, I don't know. Okay, haven't you guys ever bought something, whether it be used on eBay or on Amazon, and when you got the package, you didn't open it up within like the first 3 days? So, but getting back to the other thing, let's see. We specifically set up Intel and AMD test benches that are always ready to go so that we can always testing within. Yeah, so that's good for people who have the means to, especially with computer parts. It gets a little dangerous, especially since, you know, people who sometimes watch our budget content, they are buying things and they don't have a computer yet, or if they do, it's an old computer or whatever reason. Not everybody has full test benches or spare parts to be able to test, because I know plenty of people, when they're on a tight budget, they have to buy things piece by piece as they find deals. You might find a graphics card deal a week or two before you find your motherboard and power supply and things like that. So as a buyer, you have to be very aware of what the terms are of each of the platforms you're using. I think OfferUp also has they have a very short window, like a 3-day window too. So OfferUp, Mercari, Jawa. I don't know what Facebook Marketplaces is. I would imagine it's kind of short too though. But if you're buying anything, be sure you are ready to accept the package as soon as it gets delivered, and you have some way of testing or verifying that it is in good working order because of this exact reason. Isn't Lemon Laws like a 7-day period? I have not looked into Lemon Laws with regards to how you could apply or like appeal for these platforms that give you less than 7 days. But even, I'm telling you, man, 7 days. I have bought parts from Amazon open box and it sat for like 2 to 3 weeks while I was either busy with something else. And I mean, that's my fault, right? Or I was still procuring the rest of the parts for like a PC build. So it is not uncommon to buy something but not be able to test or even open it for a little bit of time. Only place I trust full returnability is Amazon, lol. Yes, because they are so... Amazon is big enough that they could absorb... Amazon is so big that they could absorb being scammed. You could pull this on Amazon and probably easily get away with it. You could pull returning a broken, like a switcheroo on Amazon, which I know people do all the time. You could pull a switcheroo by replacing the working item with a broken item to Amazon and say it came broken. They're not even gonna bat an eye. They're just gonna be like, all right, here's your refund. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I like shopping on Amazon. Not to scam them, but because I know that within the 30 days, they will take the return, especially since I have a long-standing Amazon account too. Like, they could look back and be like, okay, this person spends thousands of dollars and has been an Amazon customer for over a decade. They're probably, and most of their stuff is like checks out. I think they're fine. Zach's been scammed more on Amazon buying new parts than any used marketplace combined in 2033 so far. I think I remember hearing that. Did you make a short on it, or did you make a... Man, I have a... Why do I feel like Zach has a short on almost everything? But I think... Was it SSDs or something? I think I remember recalling that, but I forgot exactly what the item was. But yeah, sometimes that happens too. Oh, memory. You have a short on 2 of them. Okay. I just don't remember the exact products. Was it SSDs or something? SSDs or... But... The thing about Amazon is, though, even if I got scammed on Amazon, I wouldn't care because I know I could return it and get the real thing eventually, easily. Like, no questions asked. I don't even have to talk to a customer service rep. When you do Amazon, you just go into your little account. You go to orders and returns. You return, they say, you know, optional. Why do you want to return this? And also, the returns is so easy. I don't know if your guys' is UPS, but so I always choose UPS for the returns. But now when I go to UPS, I don't even have to box it, and I don't even have to talk to the person behind the counter. They have these kiosks now. I don't know if this has been a thing for a long time, or maybe my UPS just recently got it and it's old news. But my UPS recently got a machine where all you do is you bag up whatever you bag up the thing you're returning. You don't have to put it back in the original box. You bag it up, and then you scan the QR code they give you from the Amazon app. It prints you a label, and you put it in the box, and then you leave without interacting with a human being. And it's the most convenient thing in the world. Returns are so easy, even a caveman can do it. Exactly, yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Danny, what you're saying isn't 100% confirmed though. You've tried to return things before and there's no option to return it. On Amazon? Did you buy from a third-party seller? I think third-party sellers would probably make it a little bit more difficult. They only give options of troubleshooting with an agent. I have never run into an issue with not being able to return. Troubleshooting through the agent. Do you know what specific item that was, Zach? And if it was through Amazon or third-party seller? There's sellers on Amazon that disable the ability to return. You troubleshoot with agent or attempt to fix it yourself. That's actually, let's run a poll on that one. Because I've never, okay. I return quite a bit on Amazon, but not like problem items. I return things that when I buy, I knowingly, it says has free returns because either I can't decide or I change my mind that I don't need it and it's still new in box. So no scamming there. Amazon openly has free returns on a lot of things if it's sold and shipped by Amazon anyways, just because they want to make it competitive with like a brick and mortar where you can return anything so long as it's not opened, right? But let me run a poll on this one. Because I'm curious. I've never personally run into that myself. Have you? Man, this 100 characters is killing me. Okay, here we go. I had to take the 30 days out. Okay. Most of the time, Amazon has super easy return policy, no doubt. But I've seen twice now that I didn't get the option to return something that was broke. You just ate the cost of it? Oh, man. That sucks. Were these used? Let's see. Did I miss it? There's sellers on Amazon. So there's sellers on Amazon that disable the ability to return items. You can only trouble. I'm actually very surprised Amazon somehow did not eat the cost of it and get you a refund. How can they get away with selling you something? It clearly didn't work. Let's see. D-Mimit said they ordered a 13900K. They sent an iPhone camera lens protector. Didn't have issuing a refund, an issue refunding that law. No, there wasn't even a CPU box. It was just entirely just a flat package with an iPhone camera lens protector. Just an envelope, and that must have been a third-party seller. But so Pinky is saying, yeah, there are some items that cannot be returned. My wife has a few things, but they were third-party sellers. Man, now, yo, is that the activity we're about to do now? Can we try to find like some PC hardware that has no returns? Here's the thing, even if third-party sellers are sketchy, I feel like it's Amazon's obligation to make the situation right when a third-party seller, and it might not even been for Zach's situation, right? It might not have been the third-party seller's fault. It might have got damaged in transit. I don't know the details of it, but let's just assume the best in everybody, and it's not Zach's fault as the buyer, and it's not the seller's fault. It could have just somehow got damaged or just been a DOA product that the seller didn't even know about. If that's the case, I mean, I'm surprised with how big of a company Amazon is and how much money they make, especially given the other times that they have rectified situations that seems like, okay, maybe that seems like the buyer is taking advantage of the situation. For something that seems so clear-cut, I'm surprised they didn't solve Zach's issue and he had to eat the cost of it. Third party is not. I bought from third party on Amazon, but it's usually like, okay, let's look at motherboards. So motherboards are something that I love buying, and you're gonna see I bought a used motherboard for this upcoming PC build that is releasing this weekend. So motherboard prices, right? Let's just look like a B550F. You can get it for $170 new, or you could get like almost $70 off. I love, like, Amazon used motherboards is like my go-to when trying to save money and trying to score a deal. Because, let's look at these used ones. If it doesn't come with an IO shield or like, I don't know, an M.2 screw or something like that, if it's sold by Amazon warehouse, you can return it. No questions asked. It's just like, hey, I changed my mind. I don't want it anymore. Or, you know, but let's take a look at this one. So this is sold by Amazon and Amazon warehouse. This one is used, acceptable, free delivery, but what's the returns on this? I'm fairly certain this is, if it's sold by Amazon warehouse, can I look at this? I want to look at the used listing. They don't give enough information here. Let me try to add it to cart. I might have to add it to cart in because I want to look at the, oh, here we go. So yeah, once we're in the cart, it's fine. So this is not a third-party seller though. This is Amazon warehouse. And this one, like this one has free shipping and free returns. Free returns are available to shipping out your shoes. You can return this item for any reason in new and unused condition. Which this is a open box item, so that just means like don't get a ton of thermal paste on it where it's clearly in a different condition than when you got it. But yeah, for this one, so you can check it out. This one has the IO shield built in, so it's not a problem. But if it's missing the Wi-Fi antennas or whatever, you can return it. Which is why I like Amazon for motherboards, but Kryptonic has bought a decent chunk of renewed used. Yeah, I've bought quite a few used motherboards on Amazon, and most of the time it's all there. I think, like when I bought the motherboard for Casey's build, it didn't come with the IO shield that one time, but it was also like a dirt cheap motherboard. But I could have returned it. I decided just to keep it though, because I needed the motherboard and I was on a time crunch. But yeah. But I'm trying to not look for, see, I'm not looking for that Amazon warehouse. I'm looking for a third-party seller. So let's look for a third-party seller on here. Infinity Product. This is a seller on Amazon that I've actually seen a lot. Tested and fully functional motherboards in used good condition. The listing is for the motherboard used manual IO shield. And so you can tell it's funny because on the Amazon listing, when it's sold by Amazon warehouse, they usually just give the condition, but like no description. You could sell this. You could tell this is a third-party seller, Infinity Product, because they write out like an actual paragraph. So let me add this one to. Wow, they're selling this one for $113. Okay, so similar-ish price. So let me look at the returns on this one. I hope they show it here. Let's look at the cart. Let me get rid of, so 113. So that's the one. We'll delete the Amazon warehouse one. Gift options not available. Shipped from Infinity Product. Nothing regarding returns. Third party, yeah, so there's nothing regarding returns on here. I think I'm going to do it on my logged in account and let's see if we can find anything here. %73% positive is awful. Yikes. Let's take a look at their seller page actually. Yeah. I mean, the clear choice for me would be to buy from Amazon warehouse. False marketing, misleading due to the fact that they show an image of a missing item. That was October 18th. Today is October 18th. Let's see. Perfect. Thanks, good deal. Received a used item which was deceptively marketed as new. Seller accepted the return but never gave a refund. Oof. Okay, that's not good signs. So yeah, with all things, especially in the used market, do your homework. With new, you can get a little complacent just because, especially if you're buying from Amazon, you'll likely get taken care of. When you're buying used, if you're buying from Amazon, you'll likely get taken care of. But when you go to like the used third party, I guess new third party, you can deal with the same issues here too, right? New third party is this person, or not this one right here. This person didn't get the refund and it was marketed as new. So I guess third party in general, be careful. If the third-party seller willing to help you out, are willing to help, you are out of luck. I think you meant to say aren't willing to help. Used shipping at least has protections. IRL, there's besides zero, besides buyer beware, yeah. I see, yeah, so there are a lot of, like, this seller, I saw their posts for the B650 motherboard that I bought. I bought from Amazon, because I'm not dealing with this stuff, but, yeah. See if there's any other good motherboard deals. Like this one right here, Asus Tough X570 board. You can get a used one at half price. You're down from 185, almost half price, to 98 bucks. So if we look at this, is this from Amazon? This is, Infinity product has the cheapest price. Then Computer Headquarters, 82% positive. The next, Ultra Parts Renewed, Amazon Warehouse. Like between these three, right? You got $98 for Infinity product, which is 73% positive. You've got $100 from Computer Headquarters Inc., or you can pay an extra $7 and just get it from Amazon Warehouse and deal with less of a headache. Which of the three would you buy? I would definitely go for the Amazon Warehouse one. VictorCat says, which benchmark is generally used for VRAM testing? I would say crank that resolution up to 4K. In terms of synthetic benchmarks, shoot, I don't even know if you would saturate 16 gigabytes of VRAM with like 3D Mark Firestrike or Time Spy at 4K. But in terms of actual titles, well, I'm trying to think of free benchmarks. What game is free that uses a lot of VRAM? I would have to look. I know like Last of Us definitely does, but that's not free. Diablo 4 uses a ton of VRAM. That's also not free. So in terms of free benchmarks, that's a good question. I actually don't know. If anyone knows, let us know in the comments. Hogwarts Legacy, I guess, yeah, at like max settings at 4K should use quite a bit. I just don't know if it will use like 16 as opposed to like going up like to the 12, 13, 14, which a lot of these titles do. Demon Man says, in this age of reviews, anything short of full 5 stars is questionable. 1 to 10 of 4. Relative ratings are 1 to 10 of 4 stars to 5 stars. If you're under 4.7, you're really bad. Are you gonna be mining, VictorCat? Are you trying to benchmark the VRAM to make sure you don't have bad VRAM? Otherwise, I mean, okay, so ratings here. If we take a look at this Infinity product page, like you were saying, so you're expecting 4.5 stars. So they have 4. Let's see, this also, you should check this, because in the last 12 months it was 4 out of 5. But that's a different story than in the last month out of 6 ratings, 3.2. In the last 3 months out of 13 ratings, 3.8. Lifetime, they're 4.3 out of 5 though. You just want to check it. If you want to check if you're gonna be all right, I think if you just tested it at like 4K on the most demanding titles that you have, and do like a lengthy stress test, you should be fine. In terms of like testing to see if some of the VRAM modules on it are bad versus the others, so that you stress all 24 gigabytes. That seems a little overkill. Does anyone know of a gaming laptop that has good battery life? And when you hear battery life, I don't know. When I think of battery life, or I hear of a laptop having battery life, they typically aren't slapped with like a nice, beefy, capable GPU. Though, if you're using it for dual uses, like, you're not expecting the game on the battery, I hope, right? Because most laptops, when you're not plugged in, they run in like a different power state where the performance just goes to crap. Even if you change it to like ultimate performance in Windows or whatever, most laptops throttle the laptop if it's not plugged in and getting direct power. But I'm assuming you want a gaming laptop that just has good battery life for like school or work uses or something on the side when you're not gaming. On that one, shoot, you have to check out like Jared's Tech or something, because I don't keep up to date with laptops, so. .3 out of 5 is like, okay, the funny thing is though, I am willing to, if a seller, okay, maybe not a seller. How do I explain this? What are your thoughts on Amazon product ratings? Because product ratings on Amazon are kind of like bull crap. But I'm trying to think of a situation where I would, like, or maybe a Yelp rating. I would go to a restaurant that has a 4 out of 5. I don't need it to be 4.5. I don't need it to be 4.7. I've bought products on Amazon that have an average of less than 4.5 out of 5 star rating. When it comes to the seller though, I guess that's a little bit different than a product or like a Yelp rating or review. But I'm trying to think of, I would buy from a seller on eBay or a seller on Amazon if I was confident that within the fine print, if I got a bad product, I could return it. Because I have bought from people with eBay accounts that have like, I don't know, 92%. Like you would want 100%, but I have bought from people that have, you know, closer to 90, if not like even in the 80s. I'm pretty sure I bought from people in the 80% ranges on eBay. You avoid sellers on eBay if they're under 97%. Ooh, man, that is a very, very high bar. Because I feel like some sellers could still get screwed over by buyers that try to take advantage of how lenient eBay is to buyers. I've legit bought a package from Amazon, and in the box the manufacturer offered me a $10 gift card. Oh yeah, that's basically every like cheap overseas like generic Chinese keyboard or mouse or anything, desktop mat. If you're buying something on Amazon that is like mass produced and there's like a bunch of clones and ripoffs of it being sold for pretty cheap, there's a high likely chance that you're going to get some kind of postcard or like a little business card that says, please leave a 5-star review, sometimes with some credit or, you know, a gift and stuff like that. Demon Myth says 5 stars basically just means satisfactory or acceptable or anything less than bad. Yeah, because I mean, that makes sense because it is very hard to go above and beyond. And there's not many situations that call for going above and beyond, right? I sell you the thing, it gets to you, it works, boom, we're done. The only way you could go above and beyond is if something goes wrong that's out of your power and you fix the issue. But that's not going to be the majority of things from power sellers on eBay or Amazon or anything like that. So, can't you just change the review later? You can. Are you going to remember to change it later? I just put it 5-star, use the gift card, and put 1 star and warn people. Yeah, you could do that. But I mean, isn't that kind of a scummy move? I mean, it's scummy already for the seller to try to bribe you, but for you to take the gift that was only supposed to be for you for leaving 5 stars and then going back and warning people, you took advantage of them, the system, and are warning against that system. Unethical plus unethical equals ethical. That's how it works out. 2 negatives make a positive. If I left a bad review for the controller I used in our challenge that kept disconnecting on Wi-Fi, they kept emailing me asking a review and they would give me $25. How much did the controller cost? Was it $25? Could you have gotten your money back from just doing the review? Scamming the scammer is not morally wrong in your opinion. I think I would, for the most part, agree with that statement. 2 scummies don't make it right. Okay, let's see. All right, so we've been talking a lot about, so we transitioned from talking about being scammed on eBay to like OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, then into Amazon. So we talked a lot about scamming today. I did have some other posts that I thought were interesting that I wanted to bring up from Reddit. Since we haven't looked at Reddit for a while, actually. So let me pull those up. Okay, so regarding power supplies, I thought this was just a fun one to take a look at. I'm going to end the poll. Have you run into not being able to return on Amazon? So a quarter of the people actually said that they have run into that issue. So it's not super common, but it does exist. But dude, I'm just saying, like, if I was put into a position like Zach was or anybody else, if a third-party seller sold me something and it was clearly like misadvertised or just straight up broken, I'm gonna get my money back. I'm gonna talk to Amazon and they're gonna give me my money back one way or another. I'm very curious. I think Zach, being as busy as he is, he's probably not here anymore, but I'm curious how many man hours did Zach put into trying to get his money back from Amazon before calling it a loss when he did get screwed over by the third-party sellers on Amazon. Because yeah, at some point for him, it's just like, it's not worth putting in multiple hours of customer service talking to if it wasn't an expensive thing to begin with. So, oh, Zach, you're still here. That's where we were different. Yeah, the return on investment on me talking from Amazon was way lower. It's moved on and kept getting work done. Yeah, so at some point, if it was like for, like, let's say not a PC part, right, but something that was like under $100, I would try to go through the process for at least, 2 hours worth of, that's for $100, that's $50 an hour. That's actually a pretty good rate. But yeah, if it was for like a $12 heat, I don't know, SSD heat sink thing, and they sent me a box of rocks, and Amazon was giving me trouble for like half hour, then yeah, I would probably call it a loss there. But yeah, it definitely depends per item and how much money was lost, for sure. Man, this makes me want to now make a video where I purposefully buy something from a third-party seller and document trying to get my money back after they say they wouldn't give me the returns. How much of a hassle it is. I'm writing that on my list of things just for the whole scam series. Getting scammed on Amazon and effort to get money back. Where normally it wouldn't be worth it to try to get your money back after a certain point. But if it's for a video that might have some virality to it, or like, just YouTube AdSense, it might make sense to make. But yeah. That dev, you just got here. What did we miss? We're just talking about scams on all the online marketplaces, how to try to avoid them, and just stories of not being able to get your money back and stuff like that. Yeah. And you did miss turning off your cap locks. Number one, Casey Walls. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what the main topic of today was. The number one reason I don't like selling things online is people swapping their broke products with good products. I've been screwed over on eBay because of that. That is a thing that happens a lot on Amazon, and that's one of the reasons I do not sell on eBay. So part of the not this one, but part of the post that I brought up, this guy on Reddit who did get screwed over, a lot of people in the comments mentioned, like, if you're going to sell something of value on eBay, record yourself with it, record yourself boxing it up, record yourself taking it to UPS to send out, which is just like a huge hassle, man. Nobody wants to have to do that with every single thing they sell. Like, I don't want to have to pull out my phone, like, show it in all the angles, making sure it's not broken, showing myself bubble wrapping it, sealing it up in a box, putting the shipping label on it, walking into UPS, handing it over to the UPS worker. You know, that imagine doing that, except for every time you sold something online. That's why selling local is nice. But again, you go through your own hassles selling local. Whoa, Demon Mitt sold a rare AM3 Plus motherboard with all the accessories, got a different broken one back with just the board. eBay told you tough crap. Dang, that sucks. Some of those AM3 Plus motherboards still go for like $100. Like the higher end ones. Yeah, but would you still sell on eBay, Demon Mitt? Or do you still sell on eBay? That's the question. Okay, the next post on Reddit is this. As much as we love the PSU tier list, I love it. This Chinese power supply has lasted me 10 years. Rip, buddy, you did good. So, bought this off a guy who never used it back in 2014 for $20. 10 years later, it has finally started to cause crashes. I have over 10,000 gaming hours on this lad. What do I do with it? From this brand called ATNG. I've never owned. It's 80 plus, though, I guess. So it is at least 80% efficient. ATNG. So let's take a look at the label, because while we probably aren't going to find a dedicated review on this unit, we could take a look at what this is. 12 volt rail, 45 amps, so it's 5. So this is essentially, they call it a 6, I think it's a, this was probably, if I had to guess, this was probably advertised as either a 600, it must have been a 600 watt, because that's what their max, that's what it's written for, the max, even though the 12 volt rail really is only good for 540, which usually reputable sellers or reputable companies, they would normally label this as a 550 watt unit probably. They'll probably round that up because you do have some on the 3.3 and 5 volt rails. But this is a prime example of questionable power supply does not burn your house down or does not fry your computer. That's, yeah. So now that it's 10 years old and used up, it's probably, I would actually be very curious to put this up to a wattman or a watt meter and see what this actually gets. But let's look at the PSU tier list. Let's see if this brand is even on there. ATNG. ATNG. All right, does not exist. Does not exist on here. But, I mean, the reason I wanted to bring this up is because there are plenty of stories of people using questionable, RAID Max and stuff like that, and nothing goes wrong. I do love the PSU tier list. I think people are overly critical about choice of power supplies ever since the PSU tier list became like super popular. Basically, if you don't use A and B tier, to a lot of people, you are committing like a cardinal sin. They think if you throw in like a C or D tier unit, and D is where I start to feel like, all right, that's a little questionable, but I've stated plenty of times that I think C tier units are plenty fine, especially if on the tier list, if you can find the dedicated review on it, if you can find the dedicated review, which if you look at the spreadsheet, which nobody, I bet you like 90% of the people who quote the tier list don't even look at the spreadsheet. if you look through the spreadsheet at the methodology and at the actual reviews that they list for how they determine the tier list, if you actually look through them, I think you would get a sense of what it actually means to be A versus B versus C versus D versus all the way to E and F tier. Is there D, E, and F? Yeah. D is only for iGPU builds. I mean, this thing right here was probably lower than F tier if it was on the tier list. Demon Mitt says, I've used E tier units a lot, but as long as you know why they're E tier and account for it, I don't really see a problem. Yeah, that's a good point. That's okay. Can we pull up something from the spreadsheet? I'm gonna pull up. Let's look at an E tier power supply. An Apevia Jupiter. Okay, let's see if there's a dedicated review for this. Apevia Jupiter. Apevia Jupiter. Because if you look at the failure modes, is it failing because it's running at 100% load, or is it failing Apevia Prestige? How did they even get the Jupiter? Is that a... So there's not dedicated reviews for everything, but just based on either the internals or... How did they... This isn't even in the speculative position. This is just straight up in the E. So why is it not in here? How did they give this rating? Okay, let's look for the... Okay, let's look at the EVGA a BV unit. See, that one there should be reviews for, because as EVGA, typically... you'll get a decent amount of reviews for EVGA units. EVGA BB, here we go. Johnny Guru. Yo, did they bring back Johnny Guru, or is it still dead? Oh, we gotta go back to the internet time machine. Here's the thing, too, about the tier list, unfortunately. So, this was reviewed back in 2018 when Johnny Guru was still up. You can't even access this anymore. Manufacturers could swap parts out like all the time. They do it with SSDs. They even do it with power supplies. That's why sometimes they have like the year on the tier list. I'm just trying to find an example, but unfortunately anything with Johnny Guru is you gotta go in the internet time machine. Can I bring this up? I think it's harder to find a dedicated review for some of these power supplies, and there's not. That's why, like, I don't know. The PSU tier list is great, but you got to be able to look beyond just looking at the tier list sometimes. Look for the W1. Yeah, that one I thought the W1 would have been... The W1 is rated pretty low, right? Let's see, W1. Is that an F tier? Is that why I don't see it here in the... W1 is F tier replaced immediately from EVJ. So let's look at these F tier units. Please have a modern review. Johnny Guru, YouTube, and Asian website. Okay, Hardware Busters. Okay. Another one bites the dust. Okay. This is going to be hard though because it's a video. And that's very loud. I'm sorry. And Hardware Busters, this is Aries who does like all the reviews for like Tom's Hardware, I believe. And I'm not sure if he does other stuff for other companies, but let me see.
In this line, 430 W1.
Okay. Can we see his testing numbers? Efficiency, okay. Overall pros con. Oh crap. I wish we could have text so that we don't have to watch and listen. I mean, like this F tier unit passes the ripples, the load regulation, efficiency. Okay, where is there like a TLDR? Oh, I guess the description has a TLDR. It has a tough time delivering full load at areas with 115 volt with 115 volt input because of a bridge rectifier is not bolted on a heat sink. Okay, so it runs too hot. It cannot exceed 3 amps at 100 degrees Celsius without a heat sink. Okay, how does that translate to the test though? And if you're not in an area with 115 volt, are you okay? Because just from first pass, it doesn't actually look that bad. The thing is, this is the guy that actually tests the power supplies. He's not the one who makes the tier list. He rates it something, and then I don't know who like the individuals are who makes the tier list. They go based off that information and they decide the ranking. So they aren't the ones that test it. So Aries, the guy who actually tests it, Hardware Busters, he might rate it E tier or D tier. So I don't know. As much as the tier list is a very useful tool, always look beyond it and see if you can make your own decisions. Because, I mean, I'm sure like plenty of these C tiers could be close to B tiers. There could be D tiers who are actually just fine. So yeah. The main component is only rated for 300 watts of power, and they will fail. W1 comes in at 430, 500 watts, 600 watts. But if you treat it like a 250 to 300 watt. So wait, so are you saying that the 600 watt, I need to watch that full video of the review, but are you saying the 600 watt model is only rated for 300 watts of power? Let me take a look at some of these numbers again.
530 millimeters price.
Where's the load test? It's only rated for. Okay. One of the things, you probably can't see, but protection features. Protection is definitely one area where power supply could easily go between like B to C tier or C to D tier. Like over temperature, over current, over voltage protections and stuff like that. Which, I mean, when do you run into those being a problem? If you're buying a 600 watt power supply and your system ever only pulls like 400 from the wall, right? Again, I'm not saying buy the crappiest power supply in the world. Obviously, I'm not saying that. But I'm trying to understand, like, for this W1, just from the testing, I gotta watch. Oh, the video is 5 minutes. I'm gonna watch this after the fact. But what unit? He had the 500 watt unit. Okay. There's no heat sink. Yeah, I'm curious. I mean, he definitely, it seems like he did run it. Is there any fan speed profile? Did he only run it to 100% load? Usually with these things, they run up to like 150% or something. Oh, here we go. There are some pros and cons. Full power at 40 degrees Celsius, not aggressive fan speed profile, quite high amount provided cables. Here we go. Bridge rectifier is not bolted heatsink to be able to handle higher amperage. Low build quality, outdated platform, low efficiency, 20 AWG gauge wires, low performance in all sections. Yeah, but where's the part where it says it'll burn your house down? Full power at 40 degrees Celsius. See, from these tests, I'm not trying to say like this does not deserve to be F tier. I gotta refresh myself because I don't look at the requirements of what needs to be an F tier. But I still use W1 and W3 units in my low end flips that won't pull 300 watts. I'm questioning if for most people, if pulling even if you pull above 300 watts, if it's going to be an issue. He took this to 500 watts. Nowhere in here does it say unsafe, burn your house down. But then again, maybe Johnny Guru, which is one of the reviewers on the spreadsheet, right? Yeah, maybe Johnny Guru found something different. But we don't have Johnny Guru results to look at anymore because you have to find it in the Internet Time Machine. Why is B tier mid-range? That's also something I never understood. How do we even get... Oh, yeah, because we were talking about the Reddit post of that guy who used the $20 600 watt power supply for 10 years with no issues. The thing about the power supply is, though, you could theoretically damage your parts over time if it's like a very low quality power supply that isn't good at filtering out dirty power and stuff like that. But stuff like that, I don't even know if there's enough like data to back it up. It's just like, it's a known thing that can happen, but it's not like they have data points for like, oh yes, we tested 1,000 graphics cards with these crappy power supplies over the course of 10 years, and here are our findings, right? It's just like principles of electrical engineering that giving it dirty power and it not being properly filtered is not good for the components. But what that actually translates to in terms of how the longevity of your components and how much damage it does, it's really hard to like pinpoint and put a number on, unfortunately. So, but okay, yeah, mid-range, I never understood this. And also, did we confirm, because I think I asked this last week, did the PSU tier list used to have an S tier and then they rebranded it to only have A tier at the highest? How do you go from high end to mid-range? Like, to me, that's like a huge, I don't know. And then from mid-range, you just go to low end. I guess that's just like a high, medium, low type of system. But that leaves for a lot of in-between. There's a lot of stuff that might be borderline mid-range. As well as there might be a lot of borderline things. I don't know. You're telling me there's only 4 units that they deemed to use for iGPU builds? I think the tier list is, because it's kind of strict, it is like playing it safe, right? Getting something from the tier list, if you get like A or B tier and you don't want to do any further research, you're probably going to be pretty safe because of how strict they are. So I guess that's one good thing about it. Yeah, I think my biggest problem, to be honest, I don't have any problem with the, high end. And for the mid-range, I only slightly have a problem. It's whatever. Most people, if you think about it, have mid-range computers. Not a lot of people are running crazy high-end computers with super powerful parts. So I guess whatever. Mid-range is fine. I think my biggest issue of the entire tier list is the low end. Hello, love. Yeah, I'm going to finish up here soon because I started late because of the contractors. So I did take the salsa. You need the salsa? Melissa's asking for the salsa because, I needed the salsa.
Well, I didn't know you took it. So
You opened the other salsa?
No, I didn't know you took it.
Oh, okay.
So I told Cindy to eat the old one. I didn't know it was the old one.
Oh, man. She had to eat old salsa because of me? Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, the expiration date's just a recommended, right? Did the mic cut out at all when I ran up the stairs? I totally forgot I had the wireless mic on me. So instances like that, overusing the mic and the mic arm, you can hear conversations when I'm away from the computer. But Jason, you made my sister-in-law have to eat old expired salsa. Yeah. Yeah, so the methodology, I mean, it's the first tab, right? So people, you guys should familiarize yourself with this because I am sick of people thinking every power supply that's not A or B tier is gonna burn their house down. Like, Gamers Nexus started to do power supply review. They did like a roundup, right? And then they stopped because I think they had problems with their equipment. Linus posted like one video doing a review of one power supply ever since they got the new machine. There's like a handful of people who can actually properly test power supplies. So I'm just hoping when these, Gamers Nexus, Linus, whoever else decides to buy these expensive thousands of dollars of equipment, whenever they get their like equipment up and running, they need to stop focusing on the expensive power supplies. I do not care if a $200 Corsair 1200 watt power supply is A tier or B tier. I care if that $40 Ares game, 600 watt unit on Amazon, where is that on the tier list? Is that going to burn your house down, etc.? Right? So, I don't know. With power supplies, I wish there was more focus on the more, like, the quote-unquote, not cheap, but like lower end, more affordable stuff. The more we could get those affordable units into the C tier and B tier, I think the better. Because I don't know about you guys, I'm sick of every time I have to do like a computer build, I'm sick of if I want something that's like decent, that's at least 600 watts, I'm sick of having to pay at least $80. I know there are some deals sometimes, some sales that bring it down to $70 or $60. And I know the power supply is like super important and stuff like that, but it would be nice to go back to like the 3 or 4 years ago when we actually had decent power supplies for decent prices. EVGA PSUs on Amazon right now are $50. Are they? No, they're not even that cheap. No. This, like, the only, let me see. So let's just look at 600 watt power supply. Let's just look at what the state of power supplies are right now. Thermaltake GX2. This is, I actually just, I use this in the build that's sitting behind me right here. This is one of the better deals right now. This has been one of the better deals for like the last, year or more. That's easy to find. Thermaltake Smart, not the best rated power supply. This Apevia Spirit, for what it, this is very questionable. That was the one that we saw on the list, wasn't it? But the Apevia Spirit is not, it's not even on here actually. But man, you're getting a 600 watt power supply for $35. So this EVGA, okay, so 65, but this is the this is W1, the quote unquote F tier power supply, 600 watt for $65. Yeah, EVGA units. I remember when those 450 and 500 watts would go on sale for like 20 to $25. And then the 600 watt bronze units were like $40. You want a 600 watt bronze unit now? Actually, power supply prices are slightly lower than I was expecting. Like, I was expecting this to be $80. This looks like it's a third party seller though. Like this 600 watt gold GD. This is from Amazon, just no Prime. There are power supply prices actually getting slightly better. I swear within the last few months they were like everything's slightly higher than this. Also, where's all the, let's see, like let's look for, no, 600 is a pretty common number, but we're seeing a lot of Apevia, EVGA, Thermaltake. Like, where's all the other brands? There are more brands than these 3 or 4 in Ares game. A lot of Apevia ones, but none of them, just like nobody has reviewed them. Danny, can you check the guide in the Steam submissions? Last time I asked. Casey, I apologize. I've been very busy with the browser that I probably missed a ton of chat. And since we are coming up at the end of stream, I should probably focus on chat more, but I can pull your thing up. But power supply prices, here, MSI Mag. This was actually, where's the mags? That's at least, let's see. Where's that? MSI Mag Bronze? Mag A Bronze. Yeah, so that's C tier, which even C tier units are getting pretty expensive. And then you get your Corsair units, which are all, I don't know what happened to the mid-range Corsair stuff, but like, I think the Corsair 650 is now like 80 bucks. Yeah, like, okay, that's the RM. Yeah, the RM is their highest end stuff. Like, the Corsair just kind of stopped. Well, I guess this one's 80 bucks. Like, where's the CX650s? That was one of my favorite go-tos back when it was affordable. And now I can't even find the new or old version on here at all. Is Corsair leaving, like, the mid-range PSU game? Okay, let's take a look at the stream submissions. PC Flippers Guides to Power Supplies from Casey. All right, let's take a look at this. SPL Systems. PC Sales and Service. Built to Order. PC Flippers Guide. $17 says, I bought that at PV Power Supply. Which one? The $33 one for 600 watts? Or a different one? Okay, so PC Flippers Guide. Tom's Hardware Thermotake Smart BM2. Greetings, Flippers. SPL Systems. What is this company? Build to order custom PCs. Their email is a Gmail. Is this like a individually, like, small boutique builder? Demon Mid, is this one of your friends, or do you know of this person, SPL Systems? I imagine your circle of people is like other builders. But, okay. So, they have this, okay, greetings flippers in this short-ish tutorial booklet, I hope to go over some common power supply options, both new and used, for consideration in your PC flipping adventures. This is pretty cool. A person who's in the business of buying and selling and making money off of PCs is trying to help other people do the same instead of keeping the secrets to themselves. A quality power supply is like the heart of a computer. Yep, pumping juices. Okay. Okay, tip of the iceberg. Brand new units. Budget choices. Thermotake Smart BM2 Bronze. Semi-modular. Is it still 35 to 55? So there's the Tom's Hardware review that they are linking to. Yep, there's Aries right there. Where is... Okay, they don't post an Amazon affiliate link? Well, they have Jawa? Okay, this person must be a power... SPL Systems. There's a use section. Okay, but... the fact that they mentioned Jawa, this person must be SPL Systems Jawa. They are a seller on Jawa. Okay. But why can't I find anything from them? No, I just saw in the Google search result. SPL Systems right here, but I can't find their page. Positive Tuesday. Oh, here it is. No, I can't click on it. Why can I not search for them? Yep, I can't. But anyways, back to the guide. Are the Smart BM2s really 35 to 55 right now? Because I feel like the price... Is this a picture? Oh my goodness. This is a picture. Okay. Give me a second. Thermaltake Smart BM2, $95 right now for the 650 watt. Where's the 500 watt? See if I can find that. You would want to get the GX2, but given the price, but there's no 500. Yeah, see, it's just like power supply, just availability and choices are kind of weird right now, at least on Amazon. And I kind of hate buying from Newegg, so I don't buy from them as often compared to Amazon, just because of the shipping speeds and return policies and stuff like that. But like if I wanted to find the Thermaltake BM2 here, it's even difficult to find here. So they might have phased it. I know there's the BM3 now, so maybe we have to search for that. And even so, $70 for a 650 watt. Okay. Corsair. Wait, where's Charvel? Corsair RM850E. The modular wiring is horrible. What do you mean? Wait, so what's wrong with the RME modular cables? You talking about like just the selection of cables or what? Okay, going back to this, but they're talking about used. So Bitphoenix, okay. There's a review. Okay, brand new mid-range Thermaltake Tough Power GX2. Yeah, there we go. Even though the GX2 is now like 65-ish, I think. So, but pretty close in terms of price. High-end units, okay. I love the high-end. It's just anywhere from 69 to 300 bucks. All right, flipper specials, mid-range options. Okay, where's the used? You said all the way down at the bottom for used? Used. eBay PHEs, the secret sauce, yeah. OEM options were used in OEM systems, okay. I buy toaster. All right, the flipper special. Let's see. High power HP1 non-modular, okay. Perhaps best kept secret in the PC flipping world. What are we looking at here? Often less than 30 bucks. So anywhere from 600 to 850 downsized numerous, but given the fact that overpriced units, near impossible to beat. Sleeve bearing fan, okay, low lifespan. Let's take a look. Let's see what they're actually priced at. Very stiff. Wait, you said very stiff, difficult for wire management. I mean, now that you mention it, I feel like a lot of Corsair units that I've used, yeah, they do have stiffer cables. I've never saw that really as a downside, though. Now, is part of the stiffness due to the gauge of wiring they might be using compared to other lower end units? But yeah, I don't know. I guess that's never been a complaint of mine, that like modular cables from any unit from any brand has been too stiff. All right, so this is that unit that they're talking about that could sometimes be found like in the $30-ish range. And it looks like there's not that many on here. What were we looking for? F1 2S. Okay, yep. Please read before buying. Power supply pulled from a working computer. Testing works perfectly. It comes as pictured. Why do I need to read that if it works all perfectly? I was thinking when it said, please read before buying. Breathe easy. They have returns accepted. 99.6. Oh my God. Look at this seller. You need a 700 watt, not garbage power supply. I'm assuming it's not garbage. I didn't fully read through the tech power up review of it. This is, I think this is also Aries. He reviews all the, he's like the one power supply reviewer after Johnny Guru left. But okay, this is actually a pretty cool list. I'll need to do some more reading through it just to see like the entire thing. But I wonder how updated they keep this. I wanted to format things away to give you information you have to want it, but where you can simply look through and get to brief descriptions. I also wanted to write this to rid people of the many excuses they like to bring about using EVGA W1s and flips. It's never acceptable. SPL Systems says it's never acceptable to use W1s in flips, which I kind of agree with. Like, it's one thing if I knowingly use a power supply that's not ranked super high on a tier list, but if I'm selling a system to someone who has even less knowledge than me and they trust me to build them a good system that has longevity, yeah, I wouldn't use a lower end power supply. I don't want to deal with phone calls down the road, you know, due to premature failure. Who's got EVJ's number? I mean, EVJ is still around. I'm just very curious with regards to what they're going to be doing. Like, are they going to venture off into anything else? Or are they just seriously going to do power supplies and capture cards, I guess, and keyboards and mice? And they're getting our motherboards too, right? And they were never a major player in the motherboard space anyways, like they were in the graphics card space. So I don't even think that, I don't fully even count that. Thanks for showing me the guide, by the way, Casey. I appreciate it. Yeah, this is... I think it's a very well put together guide from someone in the community that cares about, you know, helping others out instead of trying to keep all the best kept secrets to themselves. So this is definitely going to be a bookmark for sure. Oh, Seasonic power supplies. Seasonic, let's see. They usually are. They're just... usually a little bit more pricey, except for the what is that? So let's see, Seasonic. If we wanted just to look at the best sellers on Amazon, so we've got some crazy platinum $200 units, 1,000 watt. Okay, where's like the more affordable? The Focus Plus. These are good units. 650 watt. See, this is $90. I mean, if you can afford it, the Focus Plus Gold, I forget if it's B or A tier, but let's see. They have their lower end units. I'm trying to find it, but as you can see, most of these prices, here it is, the S12 III. I forget, this is, yeah, the blue label and the blue box. Where's the S12? Seasonic S12 III. They have this in the E tier. I've never used one of these units before. Wait, that's S12 III. Yeah. So the Seasonic S12 III is on the Avoid tier. It's been a really long time since I've looked at the detailed review of it. but that's probably the most affordable Seasonic unit you're gonna get. And we're looking at 500 watts for $60, which just those specs alone isn't anything to get excited about. So, I mean, you're looking at the Thermaltake 650 watt unit for like 65. Kryptonic has 2 systems and no PSU used market. Okay, as much as the power supply situation is more of a percentage thing than a raw dollar amount type of thing. And I guess it affects the budget range because every $10, $20, $30 makes a huge difference when you only have 400 bucks. But if you look at it from at the end of the day, there are readily available power supplies for 70 to 100 bucks that are good and in the upper range of like 600 plus watts. So as much as I like to bring up crappy power supply prices, percentage wise it sucks because those units used to be like 50 bucks. So they've increased like over 50% in price. But at the end of the day, it's another 40 bucks, right? Compared to the graphics card issue that we had, compared to memory issues that we had in the past, compared to like, I guess those were the 2 worst things when it comes to like price fluctuations due to like global market shifts and stuff. The power supply situation, it sucks to have to spend 30 or 40 bucks more than now than we did years ago. But in the grand scheme of things, you can still build a really awesome system for like 700, 800, 900, 1,000 bucks with the prices we have now. It's like gas, except dang, at least RAM is pretty cheap right now. RAM and SSDs, though someone was speculating or saying that it might increase as we approach the holiday seasons, haven't really seen it yet, but that might be the case. JG Wright, you just made it. We're running late today because I started late, but we are over 2 hours into the stream, and Melissa's waiting for me on dinner, I think. So we're gonna wrap up in the next like 5 minutes here. Yeah, SSDs. I mean, you can still always find like the cheap MP33s, but like anything that's not the 40 bucks for 1 terabyte. I mean, I think these were as low as 35 bucks at one point. But it does look like they did reach their most lowest point, and they've gone up ever so slightly. Yeah, the cheapest 1 terabytes, like we used to see plenty of them at like 33, 35 bucks. But now I guess there are still some. Anytime I don't see with Prime, I'm like, I second guess it. I'm like, do I really want to buy that if it doesn't have Prime? Like this MSI Spatium one. There's no Prime. I'm so spoiled with Prime. I forget when I cough down into here, it's directly into the mic. Yeah, that's most likely it. Well, it says it's sold and shipped by Amazon, but sold and shipped by Amazon, but no Prime. Oh wait, it does say Amazon Prime, but it doesn't have the little, what the heck? But it doesn't have the little label. I don't know how Amazon does their stuff. But yeah, what used to be plenty of SSDs, 1 terabyte, actual 1 terabyte, under 40 bucks. Now we quickly, when you sort by lowest price, we quickly start getting into like the $40 range a lot faster. And there's like, look at all these brands. Timetech. Timetech I've actually been hearing more of recently, but Clev, Fanxiang, Coolmox, Kilometer, like all these random brands. Casey Walls buys their 1 terabytes on AliExpress super deals, normally for 20 to 22 bucks. Which brands are these? Are they kind of like the ones that we just saw there on Amazon? Are they Ashata? And what is this? Look at their labeling. The color scheme and the font and stuff looks just like Samsung. 970 Evo Plus from Min Hongyu. Look at this though. $33, 1 terabyte NVMe. Ashata, more like I shat. King Spec, yeah, King Spec. A lot of King brands on Amazon and I guess AliExpress too. Like if you look at King SSD, like King Dian, I think was a brand. Is it King Dian? So we know Kingston. There's Gamer King, Computer Upgrade King. Where's the King Spec? There it is. Where's King Dian? Did they already come and go that fast? I think I bought a King Dian before. What the heck? Are they gone? Oh, there it is. Wow. I had to really search for it. King Dian. Oh, no, they're still around. Their pricing is a little bit off, though. Yeah, it doesn't look like they're seriously selling stuff. If they're selling 480 gigs for 60 bucks, 2.5 inch, it looks like they're pretty much not actively selling or competitively selling. Take it easy, 17. 1 terabyte for 20 bucks is pretty crazy. But I mean, on AliExpress, huh? What the heck? Why you break? I would think that's a little questionable because SSDs were for sure gonna work. I just don't. The biggest pain is to have storage die. And while I think a majority of these drives are probably going to be fine, I don't know. I just can't get comfortable with it. Let's see, 1 terabyte. Do they have NVMe's for 20 bucks? Let's see if we can find it. This is the last thing we're going to take a look at. Max price, we'll put $22. And we'll go from like 15 because I don't want a bunch of garbage low. Oh, there's none. No, you're talking about something being super special. Is it just like limited time deals? I have a feeling a lot of these low price ones, yeah, they're not 1 terabyte. The 1 terabytes drive the price up, yeah. Just gotta wait about 2 weeks. I mean, 2 weeks isn't the worst, especially if you're not in a rush for it. Sclera was able to get an RTX 2080 Super Founders for $200. 2080 Super for 200 bucks. Runs flawless at 4K. I think that's about the going rate. 2080 Supers have taken quite a bit of a price reduction, or is it 2080? Yeah, let me see. 2080 Supers, yeah, that's about the going rate. I'm seeing them for, did you get it local? Because on eBay, they're about 220, 230, so about local for a little bit less sounds about right. But I mean, for 200 bucks, that is great performance. By going used on that as opposed to buying a $200 like RX 6600, yeah, I mean, that's the better play because used parts are always going to give you better price to performance because they're used. I have not done the Z440 on the channel yet. Those are the how much do those go for? But they have like the Xeon processor, 16 gigs of RAM, like good. They have a good power supply in them and stuff like that, right? Like all you literally need to do is get a graphics card for it and maybe I think storage. I think some of those Z440s don't come with storage. I haven't done it yet. I'll probably do it at some point, but my thought process when it comes to pre-built towers is like, if you could spend another $50 to break away from OEM systems so that you could get like DIY parts and not have like OEM motherboards and power supplies and cases and stuff like that, I think it's worth it. Obviously, price of performance for OEM pre-builts is like through the roof because you save so much bundling everything together. But just from a user experience point of view, like, would you rather have an OEM system sitting on your desk or like a PC with like an actual nice tempered glass case and, you know, fans and stuff like that? If you're super strapped on cash, those systems are great. But like, I would never recommend that to my friends and family. I would tell them, like, if you have the means to save the money and get something that was like custom built. Yeah, it's got the E5 1650 V4 700 watt 80 plus gold PSU. All you have to do is pop a good graphics card in it, and for making content on YouTube, that's awesome, which is probably why I will end up buying one of those systems to like showcase it and benchmark it. But at the end of the video, I'm gonna say I don't recommend this system if you could put another $50 to $100 into it and build on like AM4 platform or something like that, right? Get DDR4 RAM. But yeah, for content, it's definitely fun to check out. If you're going to case swap it, you're starting to run into the same cost though. Because the case swapping it, cases aren't cheap nowadays. A decent case is already going to run you around $50 to $60. Unless you get like one of those really crappy DIY PC one, but then you might as well just use OEM. So that takes away from it a little bit, but then think of the platform, think of the motherboard that you're stuck with if you do get that, even if you do case swap. I don't know, just I have an appreciation for newer components at some point, like especially when it comes to the motherboard. I'm fine with like CPU, RAM, graphics card, used components, like really old used components is fine. But just I don't like OEM boards, and Xeons, as awesome as they are, like in terms of their performance and stuff, upgrade path and stuff like that. Again, great price to performance. I personally would not recommend it to like my loved ones. Unless they're super dirt poor and have like no revenue or income stream. Then I'd be like, okay, this is all you can afford. You can't have a nicer PC than this. But yeah, it definitely has its audience and like customer for sure. All right, that's gonna wrap it up for stream. We've been going for over 2.5 hours. Thank you for being patient and waiting today. We had a slower start. We had a later start time because I had stuff going on at the house. But we had quite a bit of people waiting, and we had a pretty successful stream today. So I appreciate everyone. Video coming this weekend is PC build, newer parts. Not all brand new parts, but newer parts. We're looking at 7000 series AMD for both graphics card and CPU. So that's going to be fun. I have a pretty cool case and cooler that I got to check out. So be on the lookout for that. Also more YouTube shorts as always. But hope everyone has a great rest of your night as well as great rest of the weekend coming up. And yeah, I'll see you in the comment section of the new video. Discord or in the Discord server, which I do pop in more frequently than not, as well as in the comments of the new YouTube shorts coming up, which we did not see Shauner tonight. But Shauner is the feature of the next YouTube short that's coming out. So if Shauner was here, I would have told him that, but he wasn't here tonight. So yeah, have a great rest of your evening, everyone. Take care.